wanted to tackle the Christmas tree problem, that worldwide people are buying live trees to put into their homes during Christmas and after them discarding them with any further use. Harvesting Christmas trees for single use is not that sustainable, so we try to find a solution for that problem. But first the question, why do we put the trees in our house? Well, it's our tradition, it's our culture. We love the smell of live trees. We love Christmas, and the Christmas tree is a sign of Christmas. So we wanted to look into if this problem is already being tackled, and we found that the municipality of Amsterdam is recycling the trees for green energy, and they turn the needles into a compost material. So after finding out about that, we thought, okay, let's narrow down the subject a bit. Let's focus on the material side of the tree. Let's see if we can expand the lifespan of the product. So we did some research into the wood, and pine needle wood has been used greatly. There's a big industry around that, and these little trees really don't have that high quality of wood. So we were focusing more on the needles, and after some research, there are almost no products being created from pine needles, so there would be great opportunities for us to dive into the, material research of pine needles.
So we want to change the future with our pine needles, but how are we going to do that? We first dove into the properties of the pine needle. The pine needle is made out of both cellulose and lignin, and these are actually very good for testing out certain recipes. So how are we going to make the future more sustainable, and how are we going to turn the pine needle into something that's actually useful? For that, we dove into the lab and we experimented with different recipes. One of those recipes was leather, and we actually managed to create quite a nice piece of leather. And what could we do with that leather is basically creating backpacks, something like that. But we also created different recipes because we wanted to have more purpose than just the leather. We also created some sort of a cardboard, and for example, this could be used very well for packaging your deliveries. Something else we also made out of the pine needles, which was basically our final project, was the pine needles fibers. We could use the pine needle fibers to create a new packaging for the Christmas trees. Christmas trees are currently wrapped in plastic nets, which are quite bad for the environment, as we all know. But what if we replace them with pine needle fiber nets, which we can create ourselves? That would solve a big problem worldwide. Something else we could also do with the pine needle fibers is turn them into wool. And wool has lots of uses, but for example, we could make a Christmas tree sweater out of it. And that way we can return something to the people who also invested in their Christmas tree.
So what can we get from making pine needles into wool? Well, there are numerous advantages. Repurposing pine needles reduces waste and creates a sustainable alternative to synthetic materials. Developing high-value products from Christmas tree waste opens up the new market opportunities and job creation. And also demonstrating the value of waste inspires behavioral changes and broader participations in sustainable efforts. By focusing on pine needles, we showcase how overlooked materials can contribute to a more sustainable future. Despite this potential, our project faces some challenges. For instance, developing processes that are both efficient and scalable requires significant time and resources. And educating the public and stakeholders about the benefits of these innovations will take sustained effort. However, by identifying these barriers early, we can focus on finding solutions to overcome them, ensuring the long-term success of our initiative. So through this project, we transformed the humble Christmas tree from seasonal waste into tangible solutions, packaging and wool fiber samples that represent the endless possibilities of biodesign. These creations are more than just prototypes. They are proof that what we discard can be reimagined into something valuable, innovative, and sustainable.